The scramble for Africa by the European. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, European countries rapidly colonized and acquired territory in Africa, a period known as the European Scramble for Africa, or the Partition of Africa. The aggressive expansion and rivalry among European nations during this century drastically altered the political and cultural landscape of Africa. Causes of the scramble. Several factors drove the European scramble for Africa. Economic interests. The need for raw materials, new markets, and lucrative investment opportunities was brought forth by the Industrial Revolution. European countries aimed to take use of the abundant resources found in Africa, such as agricultural products, rubber, and minerals. Political and strategic motivations. European nations aspired to increase their stature and influence over the world. Strategic assets that may bolster a country's might and serve as military bases were colonies. Nationalism. Countries keen to show off their superiority and compete with rivals experienced a boom in nationalist fervor throughout the 19th century. Colonies evolved into patriotic emblems. Technological advancements. Europeans were able to conquer and take control of African lands thanks to developments in military technology, the Maxim gun, medical, quinine for malaria, and transportation, trains and steamships. Religious and humanitarian motivations. Some Europeans felt it was their moral obligation to civilize Africa by bringing Christianity and other Western ideals with them. Numerous times, the exploitation and dominance of African peoples were justified by this paternalistic viewpoint. Important occurrences and principal players. After German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck called the Berlin Conference in 1884 to 1885, the race for Africa intensified. In order to prevent internal strife, European powers established guidelines for the partition of Africa during this summit. Important participants included Britain, maintained control over a route running north-south from Cape Town to Cairo. Egypt, Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, Zimbabwe, formerly Rhodesia, and South Africa were among the major acquisitions. France sought to create a transcontinental east-west axis. Major regions comprised portions of Central Africa, West Africa, including Mali, Senegal, and the Ivory Coast, Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco. Germany, a relative latecomer, Germany gained possession of land in Tanzania, West Africa, Togo and Cameroon, and Southwest Africa, Namibia. Belgium, the Congo Free State, infamous for its cruel exploitation of indigenous people for rubber and ivory, was directly ruled by King Leopold II. Portugal expanded into Angola and Mozambique while retaining its older colonial territories. Italy acquired Somalia and Eritrea as well as briefly occupying Libya, among other regions in the Horn of Africa. Implications of the scramble. There were significant and long-lasting effects from Europe's race for Africa. Political boundaries. Ethnic, cultural, and linguistic realities were frequently overlooked while drawing artificial borders by Europeans, which resulted in conflicts and tensions that still exist today. Economic exploitation. Without any thought given to regional development, African resources were predominantly taken out for the advantage of European economies. Economic dependence and environmental deterioration were frequent results of this exploitation. Social disruption. European policies, such as forced labor, cultural imposition, and land seizure, caused disruption in traditional cultures. Indigenous social structures and institutions were damaged by these changes. Conflict and resistance. African societies used a variety of tactics, such as armed resistance and diplomacy, to oppose colonization. Nevertheless, these initiatives were frequently overpowered by better European military equipment, which resulted in widespread repression and brutality. Legacy of colonialism. African countries are still impacted by the authoritarian government systems, economic difficulties, and socio-political divisions that characterized the colonial era. Conclusion. A pivotal period in world history, the rush for Africa was marked by European ambition and rivalry. Although it made it easier for Africa to join the global economy, it also resulted in widespread exploitation and severe disruption for African society. The political, economic, and social issues that many African nations currently face are clearly a result of this era. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more video like this.